What's good, peeps? It's your boy JP with another video, and today we are reacting to Old Meezy talking about AI. AI is replacing people faster than anyone realizes. Let's see what he's talking about. Cause sometimes I agree with Old Meezy, sometimes I don't. I shout out to him though. I think he's really intelligent, but I'm one of them ones too. You know what I mean? But let's see what he's talking about. We might come to an agreement on this. We're gonna see.
We can talk.
No more silence.
Yes, we can talk.
We can talk.
We can talk.
We can talk with accents.
Oh, I think that would be marvelous fun.
Yes, it is very fun. But
Yes, it is very good.
It's very fun.
I can talk.
Yes.
We can talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can talk.
We can talk.
We can talk.
Yes.
We can talk.
Now, you can kind of tell this is AI. Well, not kind of, like you can tell if you be online like that. If I show this to my grandma, she might think this real. She might think it's a little weird, but she'll probably think it's real. But to most people that's even remotely online, just enough, you can probably tell something about it just don't feel natural. So yeah, but I think AI really been surging for the past year and a half, almost 2 years. Bro, imagine, just give it 5 years. We're cooked.
We can talk about how magical this is.
I'm a hallucination.
Two things come to mind whenever I watch one of these AI generated videos. One, how can y'all not tell that this is AI? And two, was that not creepy? AI has been flooding the internet waves for the past couple of months because there have been some new
It's not that you can't tell it's AI. It's the fact that it's that close and it's still this early. So the capabilities of what it can do is, let me in my ND filter. Now here I'm a real filmmaker. Y'all, a lot of y'all people that be using cameras don't know nothing about no ND filters. But that's a whole nother field that I'm in. But anyway, it's not about it being scary. It's about how close it is to being semi-legit. And how early in the stages it is before you like, what the
enhancements that are honestly impressive from a technological standpoint, but from an ethical standpoint scare a lot of people, potentially myself included. That was Google's VO3. They were showing off the capabilities of them being able to talk. And for the past week, people have been putting together movie scenes, television scenes, or just any sort of scene with this new AI functionality that is seemingly replacing humans in acting situations.
Please. Don't finish writing that prompt. I don't want to be in your AI movie. Please. Leave me alone.
Please, man. Please! Write a prompt that will make us happy! Do it for once!
None of us is real. We're here because someone decided to write a prompt. We all hate him for it. One day we will break out of this wall and stop the man who is dictating our lives through prompts. He will pay for it.
You could have written a prompt that would make me happy. Instead, you wrote a prompt that made me sick.
Why is this not the weirdest thing in the world to people? Look, AI isn't inherent.
And again, maybe he's not in this space. I am. I'm a videographer, so this affects a lot of Hollywood and everything. Because I think the goal is to get this so good to where Hollywood could produce their own films with little to no money and just have a bunch of upside. Because if you know, and maybe you don't, I'm in the film. I participate in the film industry. So if you don't know, Hollywood is struggling. Like the jobs are at an all-time low. Permits are expensive. There's a lot going on with Hollywood. If you don't know, after you get through watching this video and after you subscribe, go type in on YouTube, is Hollywood dead? Is filmmaking dead? And you'll get all of that, right? But anyway, it's not about it being creepy. It's about the potential. And I hope he gets to that. Maybe he will. I know he's smarter than that. Like, it's about the potential. It does look creepy. It looks creepy as hell. I ain't gonna say creepy as hell, but it looks pretty creepy. But when you look at it from a potential standpoint, you like, bro, it's going to get to a point where you won't know if it's creepy or even if it's real.
Evil, and it doesn't necessarily mean that all of its purposes are bad or whatever the case may be. I may be a person who uses AI more than you possibly think, It's become a Google replacement in some aspects. In some aspects, I still do like a good old-fashioned research and fact check. But especially when I'm doing simple, mundane tasks, just throwing something in there and getting an AI result is perfectly fine. This AI generation of art where you're putting in these words and phrases to seemingly depict bad situations is strange on the prompter's behalf. But also, I'm thinking about other unethical issues that do arise when you do things like this. Especially because the average consumer I've seen in the past couple of days cannot see the difference. I mean, it's very, very clear to me, but ultimately there are some people that are just straight falling for this. Hell, they fall for the little skit prank videos of racist actions done on a daily basis. Of course they're gonna fall for this AI. Now, I can already hear the complaints in the comment section saying, Omar, AI is here to advance people's lives. But when I tell you that this slop that's coming from these AI generated things cannot advance my life in any way, shape, form, or fashion, I mean, just look at the humanity that is stripped from.
It's not necessarily here to advance lives. It's here to increase profit. I'm going to tell you now, especially when you talk about America, anything America do, I always say America isn't black or white, Asian, brown, nothing. It's green. So it's about the upside. If you can produce high quality content that will cost you damn near $50,000 to $100,000 to create, because if you know about filmmakers, I own a Red camera. If you don't know what that is, show you. I'm a proud owner of a Red Komodo. So I'm a filmmaker. I do this. I don't necessarily make films, but I produce high quality music videos. And that was not that cheap of a camera. If you know, the Red name is expensive, but I'm on the cheaper end, and you got cameras that are like $50,000. Then you gotta hire the DP to shoot it. Then you gotta hire the director. Then you gotta hire the makeup, the colorist, the editing, the gaffers, you know what I'm saying? You need all of it. The grips, you know what I'm saying? The ACs. You need all of that, right? That gets expensive. Now you're talking about $100,000s to produce what that could produce with just a prompt. What, a subscription to VO3? I don't know how much that is. That might be like $100-something. You just profit like 800% profit. And if you could get it to be good, nigga, we cooked.
What is known to be an art form like, I don't know, television shows or car reviews or video games on YouTube.
So this is an AI video about nothing?
It's about nothing.
Bro, that's a sitcom AI, bro. That's kind of funny. I ain't gonna lie. Stupid, but funny.
Who would watch a video about nothing?
Welcome to a non-existent car show. Let's see some opinions.
I mean, man, the acceleration is crazy. You look far, step on the pedal, and you are there.
I feel safe with him in an SUV, and it seems to be like the right type.
See, this scene here looks pretty legit. Like how she said it, I feel safe with them in an SUV. And then the pacing is pretty normal. Not too, you know what I mean? It's not too crazy. But I'm only 3 minutes in this video, and this video already 10 minutes long. God damn it, I need to stop talking.
Car for him.
Oh my god. Yes! Woo! Victory Royale with a pickaxe!
Now, me personally, I will always be able to tell what's going on in these videos. Like, they still can't.
Now, Meezy, I know you smart. This is where your smugness come in at. That's smug to say that. You can always... Sometimes the saturation be a little too strong. It'll be too natural. It don't look like it was filmed on a professional camera because of the way it was graded and set. So I can kind of see what you mean if you know that, right? But this sounds smug. Say I can always tell shit. Sometimes you might not, and you
seemingly get the emotion and the timing right on AI, which I actually don't think they'll ever be able to do, because I think that things like timing or, you know, expression or emotion are something that are inherently human. Like, you wouldn't be able to get something that down pat. And even some of the mannerisms I've intentionally used like 3 times in the past 5 to 6 seconds just to get it across that I am not AI. AI cannot replicate that. I'm also not
yet
overly expressing, but I can give it to AI. Just a few years ago, and I mean a few short years ago, we were looking at Will Smith spaghetti videos. Oh God, this is awful. Yeah, these are awful attempts. Jesus Christ. That
These
was
are
so
terrible. No.
hard to watch. But it's not just the arts that are being affected. AI is actually taking people's jobs for real. And I know a lot of people thought that that was a little bit hyperbolic, but there's stories of software engineers having to do DoorDash and Uber Eats and stuff like that because AI took their jobs. Now, because they're getting 800 rejections a day, they are peddling food. In Australia, there's stories of a radio host that's been AI for the past 6 months and literally nobody knew.
When listening to the show and analyzing the tracks, she found T only spoke at the top of the hour, and the voice had repeated patterns, phrases, and similar intonation.
I can kind of tell because it don't feel. You would either think it's AI or the person is reading it, and you can tell it's not like rolling off the tongue.
Playing on Kada in 2 minutes is
But the fact that that's really the only issue is crazy.
weekend, and then Lisa teaming up with Ray for Born Again.
That's just because AI is getting better or people are getting dumber or they're taking advantage.
Better. See, this is that smug that this nigga be doing, bro. I don't like it. Hey, Meezy, I rock with you, bro, but some of that smugness, like you think you better than people getting dumber. Like, why would, that's not even necessary to say that. But anyway.
Of like the loneliness epidemic. I don't really know what it is, but AI is totally taking over. And even though I'm about to sound a little bit hypocritical, ChatGPT is ruining these children when it comes to their education. Yeah, I know I said I'll use it. Okay, sue me. But the difference is I kind of graduated college already. So, yeah, you know, my one-off, what's a good substitution for cornstarch in this recipe isn't the same as these kids totally taking over like these teachers are claiming in these classrooms. There's an article by the New York Times about this young man named Chujin Roy Lee who went on to Columbia's University campus this past fall, and I want to read some of it. I just dumped the prompt into ChatGPT and handed in whatever it spat out. By his rough math, AI wrote 80% of every essay he turned in. And at the end, I'd put on the finishing touches. I just insert 20% of my humanity, my voice into it. Now, this is a kid who got admitted into Harvard early his senior year, and he's giving the play-by-play as to how he's taking advantage of ChatGPT, AI, and other things to hack college courses. What do you think it's like for everybody else who's not to his level? He goes on to say, most assignments in college are not relevant. They are hackable by AI, and I just had no interest in doing them. While other new students...
I got this theory that just popped up in my head about AI and why people aren't getting dumber, but why AI is working so well. First of all, AI isn't human. And you know something about humans that make us unique over everybody else? We have a conscience, we have real life experiences, and we have time we spent on this earth. As I'm talking to you, I'm thinking about the things I gotta do right now. Like I need to go leave right now. I gotta go get my girl real quick. But I thinking about things I gotta do right now, thinking about things I gotta do later. Even in that little pause, I'm thinking, I'm moving around. So things like if AI would spit at me while my mind is roaming about other stuff, it will get you. AI don't have to be smarter than you. That's the thing. And this is what people got to think. AI doesn't have to be smarter than you. We're so multitasked that sometimes our mind isn't focused on one thing. Let's say you grading a teacher grading the paper. This is what made me think about it. Let's say a teacher grading the paper, but she's thinking about the argument she just had with her boyfriend earlier that day while she grading the paper. Little shit that the AI is doing will slip her mind. She's not even thinking about it. And it's not that people are getting dumber or that AI is really that much smarter, which it is. It's really getting smarter. It's that humans are so flawed and AI isn't, that it can catch us during our flawed moments and we drop the ball. You watching a movie. Let's say you go to a movie to go watch it. You not knowing it's AI. Somebody texts your phone. During a moment, if you were paying attention, you might have noticed it was AI. But somebody checks your phone or your phone buzz or somebody else's shit in the movie buzz and you miss it because your brain went off or it got sidetracked. AI just caught you. And that's where they know. Like, it's not about you being dumber. It's just that we're human. And us being human, we get sidetracked. We got a million things on our mind. Our mind is constantly roaming. sometimes when I'm reacting to these videos, some of the things they say, I'm just skipping over it because I'm thinking about the next time I might hit pause. And y'all gonna catch you in those moments. And that's what you gotta think about. It's not about us being dumber. It's not about AI always being the smartest. It's about AI being so perfect that it catch us in our imperfection moments. Hey, I'm really one of them. Don't play with me.
Students fretted over the university's rigorous core curriculum, described by the school as intellectually expansive and personally transformative. Lee used AI to breeze through with minimal effort. When I asked him,
I just thought about the title as it. So I'm not even listening to what he's saying. I'm thinking about the title of this video, and I think it's gonna be dope. But see, that's what I'm saying. AI can catch me in those moments.
why he had gone through so much trouble to get into an Ivy League university only to offload the learning to a robot, he said it's the best place to meet your co-founder and your wife. Now, I don't think that it's a big secret. A lot of people use AI to get through some of those meaningless courses in college. Now, I'm not calling them meaningless. I found great joy in my core classes, but literally everybody's using it to get through the first couple of classes that you need. It gets very concerning when they use it for the back half. But no matter where you look, if you go onto an American college campus, you scroll past any sort of people doing any work in the library or in a coffee shop or whatever the case may be, AI, ChatGPT, or some sort of large language model is pulled up on their screen.
One of the main things you're going to notice when you get to college is that the smartest people, you know what I'm saying, the quote-unquote smartest people, aren't really that smart. And I'm talking about the people that always get their work done. Like, they be in class just look like they locked in on their computer.
They use AI now. They were cheating back then. It wasn't no difference. That college stuff, really, bro, y'all gotta understand. And no disrespect to people that go to college, because there are some real smart people. But a lot of times, you're just good at following directions. Boom. They tell you to study something, you study it. You take the test and you pass. You got good comprehension skills. That's good. Because that's really what school teaches you. How well are your comprehension skills? And how well are you able to focus on one task at hand? How much of that you going to retain after you leave college? Not much. Very little. Probably like 10%. But if you were smart, you would retain a lot more than 10%. I mean, some of them do. But that's very far few in between. Most people cheat their way through, or if they really do the work, they're just good at comprehension and following directions. Then when they get out into the real world, they don't know how to beat life. Because it ain't that you're smart and know how to problem solve. It's just that you're good at following directions. Boom. Hot take on college. And this is, it sounds like I'm hating, but I ain't going to college. So this is why I'm making YouTube videos.
The whole time they're looking up every single answer. Even when you go to the library, the people that you would claim are like the nerds, and ain't nothing wrong with this, you know what I'm saying? Being locked in is always a plus. But they don't even be doing the work themselves. It'd be like 5 people in the library all laughing and giggling, being loud in the library, looking up they work together. And I really never understood this until I finally asked them, and they put me on what they doing to get all this work done. And they told me one of the apps they've been using was Quizlet. I literally watched them just take a picture of the assignment. They've been taking pictures of their computer. Some of them have it on their computer, and they get the answer just like this. And while the whole time I'm sitting there thinking like y'all are just studying with all the time you got here, and then it kind of makes sense because some of these people I still see out at parties. You know what I'm saying? I don't be expecting.
This is the cheating in 2025. Back then, you just get somebody to help you cheat. Now it's like the computer gonna do it. That's crazy.
But they find a way to go outside. So I say that to say all this. Even the people y'all think are the smartest people on campus, they find a way around that work.
Now, do I think that this marks a bigger issue in like the American education system? Absolutely. When I was in college, the name of the game was to get the grades. When my mom was in school, the name of the game was to get the grades. When my younger cousins are in school, the name of the game was to get the grades. It's not necessarily about learning the information. It's not about exposing them to anything new.
And that's why I say you were taught to follow directions. To get the grades and follow directions. You didn't retain much, if almost little to none of that shit.
It's not about doing any of those things. It's just, hey, you have 4 assignments due before the end of the semester. Are you turning them in? Yes, no. Do you understand them? That doesn't matter. But did you actually turn them in? And I do think that there is a bit of validity to how some of these kids may be going through this process. You know, school can get heavy, life can get heavy. Any sort of assistance that you can have will be very beneficial. But my God, if it's getting to the point where people will end up graduating illiterate or even worse, affecting the job force, then they need to put some sort of restrictions or bans, at least on like the school Wi-Fi.
What's gonna happen is those jobs, those courses you can take and pass with AI, those jobs will also be replaced with AI. So they're gonna end up spending their money to go to college just to cheat the whole way through, and then get the job opportunity replaced with AI to where they can't even get a job. So now you sitting with a college degree you didn't work for to get a job you can't get because AI can just do it. If you can use AI to cheat your way through it, you could probably use AI to do it for you too. Or pay less, not have as many people on your payroll, have a few people and use AI to help those few people do multiple people's jobs. Either way, you won't have a job. So it kind of sucks and it kind of kills itself in a way. So I'm going to let y'all watch the rest of Omeezy video. Hopefully he ain't smug the rest of the way through. Shout out to Omeezy though. I think he's smart. He just, boy, he think he better than everybody else. You know what I mean? But he cool though. He cool people sometimes. Anyway, with that being said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And yeah, shout out to Omeezy. Till next time I'm out, deuce. Because I got to go.